Presented from the Aishin Broadcast Studio at Babcock's Media.
Welcome to Medium Duty at Large, our little show about a big industry. I am Kevin Linger, Managing Editor and Producer at Fleet Equipment.
And I'm Jason Morgan, Content Director at Fleet Equipment.
It is a very special inaugural episode.
There's always something special about the first show.
I actually have a surprise after the interview.
Okay, well, speaking of the interview, who are we talking with?
Today we are talking with Alex Voets, General Manager at Velocity EV.
Okay, they're the distributor of the new RIZON brand, right? From Daimler,
yes.
medium duty trucks, all EV. And those are starting to roll out into the market.
Yes, that's right. Some rolled out earlier this month. So far, well, let me not give anything away. Let's talk to Alex to find out more. Hi, Alex. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good day so far.
Hey, yeah, it's great to be here. Thank you very much.
All right, we're just going to dive into these questions then. First up, what application are you seeing most EV activity in right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. Certainly a lot more customers are now seeing these vehicles on the road, and we're having a lot more detailed discussions about how these electric vehicles will be operated. Going in, most people expected that the box trucks and the flatbed applications would be the most prominent applications, and they certainly are. But we see a lot of demand now for vocational applications. So trucks that cities, municipalities, government agencies can utilize, be it for trash compacting, be it for pickup applications. So people get very creative. So the utilization of a PTO on the vehicle is certainly something that a lot of customers are very interested in right now.
So when you're looking at those applications, right, and I think this is one of the challenges with these medium-duty vehicles is that it can go with a range of applications. How are you adapting charging strategies? Are fleets having to adapt the way that they move goods and move the trucks around, and how are you helping them through that?
So charging is a big topic. Charging takes time, right? It takes money. It takes infrastructure to be put into the ground. So charging is certainly as big of a discussion when it comes to electrifying commercial vehicles as the vehicle is itself. On the RIZON truck specifically, we have the advantage that we can not only charge with DC fast charging, which is a very expensive way to get charging infrastructure set up, and it also takes time. We can also charge with AC charging. AC, alternating current, is what comes out of our outlets. We can't use quite the 110 volt outlet that comes in our domestic houses, but we can utilize what's called a 240 volt outlet. And a lot of shops will already have these types of outlets installed because they use welding machines or other equipment in their shops. So AC charging is really what we're trying to advertise in order to get started. Because DC fast charging can certainly take time when it comes to the utility companies, when it comes to the construction timeline. So we kind of advertise to people to utilize AC charging while they wait for DC fast charging, or as a permanent solution.
Yeah, well, let me follow up on that real quick, too, because I think this is one of the first times I'm really hearing about the benefits of AC, right? I think it's overlooked in some regard. And we've been talking a lot on fleet equipment, a lot of heavier trucks, larger class trucks, right, which do require that DC charging. Tell me about the AC charging. What charge times can people expect, and how do you work with the charging strategy in an AC environment?
Certainly. So the AC charging solution is really a good charging solution for smaller vehicles. Smaller vehicles, of course, have less batteries. Therefore, it takes less time to charge these vehicles. And the AC charging has the benefit that the charge equipment is a lot cheaper and you get in the ground a lot faster. So especially when people are looking at their timelines, that's where AC charging becomes a good solution. The charging time, so all vehicles come equipped with AC and DC opportunities to charge. Charging time on AC is about 9 to 10 hours. So that would be a normal overnight charge solution. On DC, you can get a full charge in about an hour and a half. So we kind of consult customers to say, if you have an overnight charging case, start with AC charging, get more comfortable with it, get your operators more comfortable with it. And if you do need that quick charge, either you're waiting on your own charging equipment or you utilize DC fast charging equipment that's already in the public. On smaller vehicles, of course, it's a lot easier to utilize public charging equipment. It is the same connector, CCS1 connector. The larger trucks, of course, have the downside of the physical size not fitting in parking spots that are designed for passenger cars.
Presented from the Aishin Broadcast Studio at Babcock's Media.
So you're also talking about small versus large vehicles. What body configurations are you offering right now, and how are you working with upfitters to meet customers' varying needs?
Sure, yeah. So cabin chassis is how the vehicle starts. That's how it comes out of the factory. And then whatever goes on the back of the truck is, of course, the body or whatever vocation we're doing. Certainly, we do see a lot of demand for the Class 5 box truck still and the Class 5 flatbed or stake bed application. People use it for pickup and delivery, for grocery stores, for linen services, and then other applications such as the trash compactor, a dump, a roll-off application. Those are all kind of the more customized applications where we're really working with customers hand in hand to develop their upfit. We're working with bodybuilders, but also with the customer themselves, because a lot of these trucks, they have a very specific task. And to do that specific task, you need a very bespoke body.
Right. Well, and that requires, as you noted, the network of upfitters and those relationships. You're all rolling out the RIZON trucks right now. How are you able to do this so quickly? I know that RIZON, it's a new nameplate, right? But one that is leveraging Daimler experience in the market. How are you able to do this so quickly?
Yeah, the good thing is we have a little bit of experience. So RIZON is a Daimler truck brand, just like in the US, we're used to the Freightliner brand, the Western Star brands, and others. So RIZON is a brand from Daimler Truck. And just like the Freightliner eCascadia, Freightliner EM2 was rolled out here throughout the United States in the last couple of years, we take a very similar intentional approach because we know the demand for these vehicles is A, where the legislation pushes it, or B, where the general incentive landscape is really promoting electric powertrains. So that gives us the benefit of really knowing where we should go first. California is usually number one on these initiatives when it comes to the legislation that's already on the books and the incentives that are available for new technologies. Up and down the West Coast, other states, Washington and Oregon, are also fast followers. And then we do see pockets in New York, New Jersey area and in Texas. So we can really identify based on legislation and incentives where the demand will be. So we're trying to follow very intentionally, not rolling it out everywhere at the same time, but going kind of market by market.
All right. That is a growing landscape, a lot of different vehicles, a lot of different applications. You're our guest. Any last thoughts you want to leave us with today?
I think electrification in the commercial vehicle industry is a big task. I think customers should not be afraid to partner, to ask questions. There are no stupid questions. It's a big transition that we all go through together. Certainly, there is a lot of opportunities from small vehicles all the way to the 18-wheeler, 18,000-pound vehicles. I always advise customers, start small, start with something that is easily comprehensible, where you get quick driver feedback, where you don't have to make all the investments up front, be it with charging or other things, and then start learning and be ready to change course, because it is not something where you can plan everything out up front and then execute. You certainly will have to adjust your path as you learn more and more. And we think the RIZON truck is just an excellent way to get started.
Be ready to change course. I think that's just some good life advice. All right, Alex, thanks so much for taking the time.
Absolutely, anytime. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so look, excellent interview. I've done a lot of EV interviews. I feel like there's some fresh takes there.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
A lot of new stuff going on.
Well, but before we get to the wrap-up, though, I can't wait any longer. You promised a surprise.
Sure did.
So what's... Okay, all right.
Make way.
Oh,
Look at this. EVs, as he said, are becoming kind of more and more popular for cities, for jobs, a little more ubiquitous.
Yes.
A lot of times you might not even notice them if you see them. This little guy is a little Lego refuse truck, electric specific refuse truck that I found. And I just think that that's the first time I've ever seen, you see little bulldozers and trucks, but they're always the big gas engine ones. And this is the first time I've seen a little guy like this.
yeah, that's awesome. I love the electric representation among the Legos, the Lego collector sets. That's awesome. How long did that take for you to put together?
Well, I really don't want to put that out there for everyone else to know.
Yeah, I see.
Few
So
days,
the other
few
day,
weeks.
yeah, the other day in the office, right? That was the secret project. I get it now.
You don't stop by that much, so I was busy for a whole week and you didn't notice.
Well, you know what? And let's talk about size, right? Because
Yeah.
that's a smaller truck. I really latched on to that AC, obviously, the AC charging,
Sure.
right? For these smaller, medium-duty trucks, AC being an option. Talking with Alex of maybe it's a stepping stone, right? Maybe it's something I start with to get the truck rolling today or this week or this month, right? And then I install my DC charging if I want some fast charge opportunity, or maybe I just stick with it. Works for me.
Right.
Works for me.
It's not broke.
That's right. What were your takes? What do you think?
I think that really there's a lot going on and a lot of industries. We only get to so many today, but we say medium duty, it's kind of a broad industry, a lot going on. And right now we're still in the stages of trying to figure out where EV can fit. And so far, from what we've heard from Alex, from other stories we've done on fleet equipment, we've seen that a lot of people have been using EV successfully. Some tests, but now it's kind of rolling out a little more generally speaking.
Well, it sounds like we have a lot to talk about in future episodes.
That is true, we sure do. And thank you guys for stopping by. We'll see you next time for episode 2 of Medium Duty at Large.